Da, 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 da. Okay, hello. Hi, happy Friday. I hope you're all having a rip roaring good time and have good plans for this weekend. If you're not having an awesome day, why not? What's going on? Let's get that happening. Okay. Today, I wanted to share some thoughts with you about coaching versus therapy. I've been fielding questions about this, and I thought, why don't I just give y'all like a good explanation? Let's first of all, we can't get into all the specific details because there are so many therapies and then there's so many coaching styles but as it relates to overall, if I reduce everything down to the bare minimum, therapy and counseling are traditionally very past focused. They look at the events that have happened in your past to figure out why you are where you are. And there is a need for that, absolutely. There is a place for that in the healing process. And coaching, however, is very future focused. So it does assess where you are currently and then how you got here from, your past, but it is hugely future focused. So if you are seeing that you're in a cycle that you don't want to continue, it's like, okay, let's find out where we want to go and how we're going to get there and what tools are we going to utilize and what obstacles are we going to have to overcome and what's the hard thing to do to get to where we want to go. So they each have their place in a person's life. So it's coaching is typically thought of as something that high functioning people are drawn to. They don't feel like they are completely underwater and needing the assistance of like everyone else to help them because they're high functioning, they're living their life, they're getting things done, they're doing things, but they know that stuff is missing. Or they're like super high functioning and they are like, I want to sharpen and give myself an edge for all of the things that I want to accomplish and see why my mind is telling me I can't get certain goals, but I know I can. So it's very future focused. And I've shared that I've been in an individual therapy that I've gone to that, to a person for that, to a counselor. And I'm grateful for her because although I was functioning, I did feel like I'm underwater and I'm drowning. And so she was able to help me with things. And then she introduced me to another type of therapy that she offered, which is called EMDR. And that was very fascinating. It was eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, which I held like 2 electrodes in my hands and we would process, like as they would like buzz in my hands, I would go into a memory, and the whole idea is to give you an adaptive resolution to whatever trauma that you have, like a memory from trauma in your past. And it's done people that have PTSD often use it. And it was fascinating, but what I realized was that doing the EMDR and even some of the counseling sessions and whatnot, it was very much just asking me where I was and then offering like maybe a thing here and there, like, well, what about this? Could you see it differently this way? Or how would it be if you didn't think that? But it wasn't very much in depth. And I've also been in, I haven't shared this yet, but I have also been in a marriage counseling with Jeremy because there was so much there that I thought we need help together. And we both went, and there was a lot of focus on, well, are you hearing her? And are you hearing him when he's saying this? And are you really listening? Do you really understand what's going on? And that was interesting. But I remember when I found coaching and started taking control of my thoughts and intentionally thinking about situations in a way that would benefit me, I walked into, I was still currently in both counseling types of the marriage counseling and just individual counseling. And when I said that things were so different that I was able to like think intentionally, they both were, and this was a Christian counseling group, and they're fabulous people. They both said similar things like, yeah, you've learned how to take every thought captive. And I was just like, stop the press. Why didn't you tell me this was possible? Like, I didn't say that in there, but in my mind, I was just like, if only I had known what I could do, I wouldn't have felt like I wouldn't have gotten to the point where I was so unhealthy in my thinking. Like my thinking just progressively had worsened to a point where I was just like, and I need help. But there's a way you don't even have to go down that road, which was just mind blowing to me. So anyway, utilizing coaching tools has been just a phenomenal thing to be able to get me to think about things differently, think about my experience differently, how I'm interacting with people and situations, and how do I want to be? Like, what version of myself do I want to be? Do I want to be reactive and stressed out? Or do I want to take control of myself and not have to control anybody else around me? They're allowed to be however they want to be, and I still get to have whatever experience I want. Some people are saying, well, you're being delusional if you're not being a realist. Like, people are rude and then you respond because they're rude, or people, bad things happen. And if you're not embracing that, like, yeah, I'm not saying you have to be positive all the time. Not at all. But if you feel like you're out of control, that's where it's like, wait a second. Do I want to feel like I'm out of control or do I not? Because that is totally in our hands. That choice to feel out of control and hopeless and overwhelmed and like the world is ending, that's in our control. We don't think it is because of how we're thinking. Anyway, if you are wanting to know more about what coaching can offer you as you are trying to set goals and move forward in your life and accomplish things and get dramatically different results for yourself, reach out to me and we will set up a time to jump on the phone and really dive into what you are going through and how you can craft the outcome that you want. Like, what kind of outcome do you want? What would benefit your life? How would your life be different? How would your life be blessed if you didn't have the overwhelm and the feeling helpless and trapped? Like, how would it be differently? How would the decisions you make be different if you do have a say in what happens? And that you don't have to be controlled by the expectations of other people or of whatever social circle you're in. What would your life be like if you had options? So if that's something that you're interested in, reach out to me and I would love to set up a time to talk with you and we can go from there. But if this is something that you're not struggling with, that's awesome. And go for your goals and go for what you want to create in your life and create something big and wonderful and beautiful, because that's our option. It's just a wonderful option. It's a beautiful option. So I love y'all. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. All right. Love y'all. Bye.